Are you ready to take a ride on the wild side? Rat rods would be perfect for you. But the thing is, they are not for the faint of heart. These monsters are the perfect blend of vintage and modern, combining rusty metal, exposed engines, and enough horsepower to make your heart race. Rat rods are true representations of love for individuality and creativity, and they are not afraid to stand out from the crowd. These rides turn heads and leave their mark wherever they go. So if you're looking for a ride that's both stylish and hardcore, then this video has all the things you need. Get ready for some amazing rat rods that will blow your mind. Let's go. Number 15. BMW Rod. The idea of a cherished BMW being transformed into a rat rod would drive car purists mad. But everyone would be crazy if they did not believe this invention looks utterly wicked in its current state. There is not enough space to house this enormous block engine under the hood. The Beamer's distinctive front plate and matching wheels appears to be being propelled forward by the engine. This BMW Rod seems like it would be more at home pursuing James Bond's Aston Martin over the Swiss Alps since it is intimidating and savage in all black. Number 14. 1952 Chevy. Even if we enjoy seeing display trucks that are immaculately maintained and have every little detail taken care of, there is something particularly unique about vehicles that accept flaws as signs of character. Each truck's age patina proudly displays its age, and each dent, scratch, and scrape tells a tale about its history. The 1950 Chevrolet truck owned by Jason Torchia is an example of this. Jason was able to make it into a vehicle that both looks its age and competes favorably with more modern versions by using a few elegant alterations. Number 13. 1940s Vintage Mac. With 4 hand-built patina sculptures already under his belt, and a 5th one that is almost ready for the camera, Miami, Florida's Joe Slugo is well aware of this shift in thinking and a great admirer. Joss is employed by his family's powder coating and electrostatic industrial painting company. He enjoys the challenge and frequently makes good rides appear even better. A trip to the junkyard yielded the ideal item for the project car, a 1940s vintage Mack semi-truck cab with the ideal level of oxidation. Number 12. 1929 Ford Pickup Phoenix. The bright red vehicle screams vintage speed. It was originally a Ford Model A with a stock body. Nevertheless, its custom-loving owners have altered practically every aspect of it, adding 2 inches of more legroom and a hand-carved and foundry-cast Phoenix insignia, among other changes. The vehicle's 383 cubic inch power plant has fuel injection heads and Rochester 3-power induction as an added bonus. The original Stuart Warner heater for the AC heat is still in the car. This work of art took 2 decades to complete in the garage of a private residence. Number 11. Mad Max Mobile. This rat rodder must be planning a move to the front lines of the battle with all these weapons attached to the car, even though it is obviously a Volkswagen. Finding this rat rod on the road must be both exhilarating and alarming at first, until you realize they are not even genuine weapons. This enthusiast replaced the smaller and narrower Volkswagen tires with stronger and larger ones to better handle the challenging off-road terrain. Additionally, these larger tires are required for balance when driving fast. Due to the small gasoline tank size of Volkswagens, this vehicle was equipped with a gallon of spare fuel. Number 10. 1957 Chevy Wagon Rat Rod. This car is a Rat Rod 1957 Chevy Wagon. A national Rat Rod build-off contest was won by it in 2013. A 57 wagon body served as the foundations for a new frame that was made by ITW Hot Rods in Minnesota. They fitted the car with a 355 CI Human Racing Engine's small block Chevy engine. Later, Rick Newberry bought the vehicle. Steering wheels with 4 spokes are another great innovation. This automobile was driven by Rick Newberry to several car exhibitions, but it received little attention. When he first saw the Chevy wagon, Newberry recognized its potential and acquired it from Chris Walker of ITW Hot Rods. Number 9. 1949 Mercury EV. This is the 1949 Mercury 8 Coupe, a carefully shaped vehicle with rounded curves and exquisitely detailed edges. The 8 was created by Mercury, a now defunct branch of the Ford Motor Company, thanks to Edsel Ford's creativity. It has earned a name for itself in the automotive industry and has appeared in several films and video games. This Mercury 8 is in such excellent conditions that it could be restored to new with only a few coats of paint. Number 8. Jason Bleesner's Yellow 1941 Chevy bus. In Illinois, Jason Bleesner runs his own business. He runs rental houses, owns a bar, and runs a car wash. Bleesner eventually had the idea to construct a school bus rat rod. He paid $2,700 for a 1941 Chevy bus at an auction. The bus's basic design was preserved by Bleesner, who also installed a 12-valve 8.9-liter air-ride suspension and compound turbos. The interiors were also refurbished by Bleesner. At 80 miles per hour, the bus only gets 15 mpg. If this bus picked up the children in the morning, imagine how they might respond. Number 7. Jeep DJ5. From eBay, Jim Bai from Camillus, New York, bought a Jeep DJ5. He converted his Jeep into the ultimate rat rod after retiring as a letter delivery. According to Bai, he welded the frame after removing the body. The front and back were then modified by him. The Jeep is equipped with Mickey Thompson tires and an exposed 292 cubic inch 6-cylinder engine from a 1985 GMC truck. Bai chose to employ color schemes associated with the Postal Service, including the USPS emblem on the left and blue and red stripes on the sides. He even added a post office. Bill contributed less than $5,000 to finish the car. Number 6. Crazy Frank. This one may be known to someone who has seen Mad Max Fury Road. The vehicle, known as Crazy Frank, is powered by a 4-intake supercharged Chevy V8 and a 2-speed power glide gearbox. It was based on a Holden FX truck. The automobile was created by Snapper, also known as Colin John Macy. Number 5. Loose Nuts. If you are of a certain age, you probably already have the theme music playing in your brain when you see that name. For the younger crowd, we are referring to Mobile Army Surgical Hospital, a well-liked CBS television program from the 1970s and 1980s that followed a group of surgeons and support personnel throughout the Korean War. This rat rod, aptly titled Loose Nuts, is made from a US Army Jeep that has been modified with mismatched tires added for aesthetic appeal. These Jeeps were renowned for their toughness and exceptional capacity to navigate any terrain on Earth. Number 4. 1976 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40. The Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40 from 1976 is the following car. In a workshop close to Johannesburg, South Africa, Ehlers Rods and Customs created the Lord Street Rod variant. The mechanics said they built this car because they desired a symbol of South African culture. We assume that vintage Land Cruisers are rather popular there. Regarding the FJ40 itself, Ehlers Rods and Customs added a modified front suspension, seats from the Jeep Wrangler, and headlights from the Volkswagen Golf. Additionally, it sports a Lexus 1UZ V8 and front brakes with single-pot discs and 4-pot calipers. The crew finished in 1,200 hours. Number 3. 1930 Ford Coupe. It screams power and speed with its exposed engine. The removable hood is your first line of defense against intimidation. The earliest Roadsters cost $385 and had a peak speed of 65 miles per hour. We suppose they made this car faster. The 1930 Ford Coupe has grown to be a favorite choice for powerfully souped-up rat rods. Georgia Tech University employs a 1930 coupe named the Ramblin' Wreck as its official mascot, extending the classic appearance into popular culture. Number 2. 1931 Ford 4-door. Using a 1931 Ford 4-door body that Jason discovered in Summerfield, South Carolina, the initial portions of the constructions got underway. He bought a 1993 Dodge Ram D3500 dually truck to act as the donor vehicle since a small block Chevrolet engine would not have matched the picture. The journey started with the Dodge being completely disassembled with only the 12V Cummins engine and 46RH gearbox remaining. With the vintage Ford, he adopted the same strategy, preserving only the body. The true difficulty was in building a bridge between the two. Number 1. Tank Rat Rod. This is the reason why no one ever claims that the biggest thing they will ever see is a hot rod constructed out of a truck, since someone else will construct one using a tank if they do, based on an MS personnel carrier this vehicle. To make the major pain monster tank even remotely qualify as a rat rod, it had to first be completely disassembled. To prepare it, its owner removed 12,000 pounds of steel. It is currently owned by a man who believes it produces between 1,000 and 1,200 horsepower each time it starts up and operates on brown alcohol. Funny. Alright guys, that's all for now. Hit the subscribe button and join the squad of car enthusiasts who live and breathe the latest and greatest in the car world. We are bringing you fresh content regularly. giving you the inside scoop on everything auto. So rev up those engines and get ready for a wild ride. Don't be left behind, hit that subscribe button now, and see you in the next video. Peace.